All right, this is yet another location, on location, the Final Percent podcast, and I'm here with my good friend Hypnautic, and we're just talking about, I think probably the main thing that we just talked about was the state of the influencer game, how we want to make a bigger impact, how we want to kind of use some of our unique abilities to capture attention, and we realized that we're a couple people that on three aspects of life, from intellectually, from music, and business, we're two people in each other's lives that connect on all of those.
So true. You just brought up a good point earlier, too. You were saying that everyone's saying they're an influencer this day. You could have 1 million followers, you could have 100 followers, but what does that mean, and are you actually making an impact with that influence?
Exactly right.
And I think identifying that is always something that can take you to the next level and actually take other people to the next level as well, make you more money.
Well, and so one of the things, I was actually just talking with someone who didn't understand the business side of, because he's done events at a small level, at a giant level, at a medium level, and what I realized about him early on is he's serving whoever his target market is, and his target market isn't always the audience. It is who can be on a stage and demand that attention. And so he's done things where he fills up a room with 10,000 people, or if he fills out a room with 300 people. And I was talking with someone who had done some business, but with him, and they didn't understand the business side, and they were saying, oh, well, he just this, he just that, he just that. And you've got to be careful when you talk about other people on saying, he just that, or he's this, or he placing labels on people. And I just simply asked them one question. I said, well, would you have ever been in that venue as an artist and standing on stage if it wasn't for him? And the very first thing that they said was, well, probably not. And I said, well, then maybe you should show it a little bit more respect. And that's what I love about him, is he's serving the artists who are able to get on these stages and create meaningful events / experiences that can not only catapult their careers so that they can get on bigger stages, but also catapult the audience into becoming true fans of people.
What I tell all artists is the only way to really take this to the next level is you got to do it yourself. If you don't like the way something's done, do it yourself. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the way shows are ran, throw your own shows. And that's kind of what I did at the beginning. I never had opportunities, so I give artists opportunities. No one knows at the beginning, my first 300 shows were free. I didn't get paid nothing. And then now I've learned how to create 100 shows for other artists, give some opportunities to make money, some not. But I think at the end of the day, it's just build your own future.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it goes to that old saying, you have to remember that your mind is a paintbrush and not a camera. You are making your own future. You're painting your own future. And the paintbrushes that you're using and the paint that you're using to paint your own future is the books you read and who you spend time with. And it was funny because, and I welcome all of the people who are out there in Denver who thought that there was any bad blood between me and Hypnautic. And it was funny, one thing that I just told him is I said, I started this company called KMG, and for me to start that company and keep it going, my music had to stop. And he was one of the only people who came into my life from a business perspective, intellectual perspective, but most importantly for me at that time, he was able to impact the fact that I could do music again. And I look back on our chapter at that time when we were we did a big show, TFP.
TFE versus KMG.
Yeah, TFE versus KMG. KMG absolutely won, I'm just kidding. But we had a great show. We had a lot of fun. But he was one of the people who pulled my music back out of me and made me do what God put down inside my soul. And it's something that I'm never going to forget. And so we're going to announce that we're going to be putting out the Final Percent Volume 1, which is going to be songs that are motivational and inspirational. And they're going to be used kind of like the song started from the bottom, now I'm here. So they're going to be very contemporary, very forward, very fun. There's going to be rap, there's going to be this, that, and the other, but it's going to be used in the right way, because there's a lot of things where people use songs like that, but you don't know what they're actually talking about. And some of it's business, but some of it is some dirt. And we want to keep people in a good mindset if they're listening to messages like that, or like this, so that they can have access to content that can keep their mind in the right space. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to anything negative, or don't listen to the radio, don't listen to this. I just want people to have the opportunity, if they want to say, hey, I need to pick me up on the way to work, I got to listen to something motivational, but I don't want, obviously no one's allowed to listen to I Believe I Can Fly anymore. Thank you, R. Kelly, for stealing part of my my musical development. I don't appreciate that stuff, man. But songs like that, but that are a little bit more upbeat and want to get you moving. And so the first thing when I had that idea, I said, I've got to go talk to Hip, because he's the one who pulled music back out of me the last time I was feeling creative on that front. And so now we got our next session on Monday, which there's going to be cameras involved. People are going to have to see this involved. Journey. I'm lucky to call this guy friend and be able to be around someone like this. And he's making impact in not only artists' lives, but he's making impact in business lives, and helping them with marketing and content. And I mean, he's got one of the most creative minds that I've come across. And he's got one of the most compelling stories that I've come across. So a compelling story from obviously your kid. I mean, that's a story, and I mean that's probably a whole podcast where we should just unpack that. His career, his relationship with his partner in Top Flight Empire, and then your partner in Top Flight Empire has his own story. So
yeah, it's crazy. You touched on a lot of things. This guy's a professional speaker. I'm just coming in trying to keep up. Like, wow, he breaks it down quick. With the positive message, it's like the power of your subconscious. It's the things we put in our mind that attract what's going to become our success and our end. But yeah, I'm excited to make this music. You know what I mean? I'm excited to impact. You know, you never know. We haven't talked about much of this yet. We're just getting into it. But I do feel we might be reaching out to some of you young artists who want to bring that energy and that vibe to it. And when we say positive, we don't mean corny. We just mean a good message with a good goal at the end. And the good thing about me and you that's hard. It was hard to grasp at first is you could take your creative mind and your business mind, but when you learn how to separate those, you become beast mode, and it's
absolutely. Well, and so I think the creativity is what supercharges the business.
Yes.
Because I tell my, hey, check that out.
Look at this guy.
I'm always on call, you know. I tell people, look, I can always buy what you do, but I can't buy who you are. Who you are supercharges what you do.
So true.
And that's the thing with creativity. And that's why he might not have an MBA from a marketing school, but the thing is because of his mind and his creativity, he's going to crush people who went to a marketing school, because he is creative and innovative and was willing to do the work and learn how to do it. But now he supercharges it because of that creativity. And that's why when I'm coaching businesses, I say don't lead out of emotion. You got to lead out of doing what's right. But the thing is that passion, it's kind of like a floodgate. You got to open it up just a little bit, let that emotion through, and it'll supercharge what you're saying. But you can't just speak out of emotion. You have to be diligent and deliberate on what you're saying, how you're trying to impact, but you do it in a creative way. And that's why when I wanted to come back and bring this message, Hit Harder, we're going to be going on the cruise soon. And the first thing I was thinking, dude, why don't we get him and his partner to come on and do the entertainment? Because I mean, there's literally no people on planet Earth that will get. I don't care if there's 3 people here or 3,000. They're going to get them on their feet and hype. And I don't even like dancing at shows, but I mean, I was jumping up and down.
Greg's a professional dancer here.
No.
Put your emotions into the music, not into the business, and you'll be successful. Use that with anything you do, whether it's art, creative, anything creative. Put all that emotion, everything you have, put that into the actual art, and none of that emotion into the business, because it's a cutthroat world. But if you surround yourself with good people and get past things, like you said, we've had a roller coaster relationship, been through the highs and lows. But when you can actually look at someone eye to eye and overcome and talk about the past, you can actually become stronger for the future.
Exactly right.
So,
well, and the thing is, if it goes up and down, this is one thing that I think young people need to understand. Everyone says, hey, man, I want to get to that top. I want to get to the peak. I want to get to the top of the mountain. I want to be at the top of the mountain. And usually there's illustrations associated with me helping people understand this. But if you look at the top of a mountain, it's all rocks and snow and bare. And if you look at the base of a mountain, the valley, everything like that, where people say, oh, I'm in a valley, I want to climb the mountain. But the valley is where all the growth is. So stop saying that you are in a position of you're downtrodden and you've gotten, life kicked me in the balls and life hates me in this and I'm always in this valley, walk through the valley of the shadow of death, all that stuff. But the valley is where all the growth is. You just go up to the top to get a different perspective. You come back down to grow.
The bottom is the funnest part.
It really is.
I think if you don't fall in love with the process, you're never going to love the top.
It's true.
And you might not even love the top, but everyone loves the bottom. They don't understand. It's like going to high school and hating it the whole time. And then when you get out, you're like, man, I really miss that. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to be joining some of these journeys we're going to be doing. He's talking about Bahamas.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Music. Every time we meet, we have a million great ideas. Now we're counting on you guys to keep us accountable. We're meeting up Monday.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and just know that everybody in life, everyone's a millionaire. You either have $1 million or a million excuses, but you never have both. So it's time to take action, and I think we're gonna have a really fun time. But it's good to be back with Hip, and we're gonna take over the motivation scene because he makes an impact like I have not seen very many people, and I'm in this industry, but I have not seen people, and he doesn't do the motivation professionally like I do and do the stages, but I've seen him be so much more motivational, inspirational, and make a bigger impact than 99% of the influencers out there. And that's why when I had this project and this mission to overcome and achieve this specific goal, he was one of the first people I called.
Well, cheers. The only thing that I'm missing now is a gold mic. So I think...
Hey, we got you silver, man. We'll switch next time. Next time we're on this, we'll make sure he's got the gold. I'll take the silver. It's going to be great. All right. Well, cheers, and we're going to go to the final percent.